Greetings and welcome to Unit 13 related to Psychomotor Domain. In the last unit, we understood the importance and nature of affective domain of learning. We looked at the taxonomy of affective domain as given by Pierce and Gray, and we tried to explore the importance and the role of affective domain at higher education itself. And now in the current unit, the goal is to understand the importance and nature of psychomotor domain. Now the role of psychomotor domain may differ from one course to the other. In terms of general programs, what we refer to as general programs, like mostly programs related to arts and social sciences, the role of psychomotor domain can become very important or sometimes even dominant. Let us look at what it is. Learning in psychomotor domain involves motor and muscular activities. That means your hand movements and leg movements, these are all important. And as you can see that even while you are involved in cognitive activities, there are activities that belong to psychomotor domain, what we normally refer to as gestures and body language. And body language kind of is a very dominant feedback mechanism to the teacher or to the other individual who is interacting with you. So the psychomotor domain has an important role, even though the activities involved are dominantly cognitive. And psychomotor learning occurs in combination with cognitive and affective domains of learning. One does not have to say that practically every experience that we go through, including what we go through in a classroom, all the three domains are involved to varying degrees. It depends on the particular subject that you are dealing with, or particular topic that you are dealing with, or particular activity you are dealing with. And the psychomotor domain is demonstrated by physical skills which are acquired through practice. That is what one needs to remember. There is practice involved with these activities. And development of motor skills requires practice and is measured in terms of speed, precision, distance, procedures, for example, grace are techniques in execution. So these are the words or adjectives that you would use with the performance in psychomotor domain. Some examples are riding a bicycle is an activity in psychomotor domain. Driving a car, playing a musical instrument, just merely typing, acting and running, these are all, you can think of any number of activities that involve psychomotor domain activities. The psychomotor activities become important and even dominant in courses in programs, like you have a BA in theatre or BA in music or BA in painting or a BSc in sports or any medicine, nursing, dentistry, emergency medical services, any of them that you have you can have a fairly important dimension of psychomotor domain. For example, nursing and emergency medical services, in my view, they combine the three domains in a very integrated manner, and all the domains are equally important in those professions. For some historical reasons we do not have to go through, people did not pay that much attention to the taxonomy of psychomotor domain, but yet you have several taxonomies presented. One is referred to Ragsdale, Simpson, Kibler, Barker and Miles, and Huyenstein and Harrow, and here they have given anywhere from three levels to 7 levels. So obviously there is not too much of agreement between or correspondence between all the three psychomotor levels that they have defined. And once again we come back to Pearson-Gray taxonomy. We, as mentioned in the previous unit, activities in all three domains involve sensory inputs, mental processing and outputs. And these three distinct activities are involved, and they provide the basis for actually creating the taxonomy of psychomotor domain. And here his Pearson-Gray what do you call, they recognize as you consider the role of cognitive processes, the level corresponding the level of psychomotor domain also increases. That means higher psychomotor domain level corresponds to higher cognitive level domain as well. That is what it means. It is arranged in increments of the cognitive dimension. Now, Pearson-Gray taxonomy of psychomotor domain has 6 levels. You have psychomotor perceive, psychomotor activate, execute, maneuver, psychomotor judge and psychomotor create. Like in the case of cognitive and affective domains, one can also identify the sub-processes involved in each one of these levels. In some cases we have 3, in some cases we have 2. And these levels are distinctly observable, but we will not be going through too much of detail of the sub processes. We will try to understand the 6 levels of psychomotor domain. Now let us start with psychomotor perceive. That means you must have the ability to use sensory cues to guide motor activity. That is, you should be able to observe or feel, or through any kind of sensory cues you should be able to take and guide the motor activity. And in addition, it also involves readiness to act. That is, yes, I observe, I know what is involved, but I am not willing to move. I am not willing to, I am not ready to act. In that case, you do not move forward in the psychomotor domain at all. The readiness to act includes mental, physical and emotional sets. Unless all the 3 are involved, you cannot actually act. These 3 sets are dispositions that predetermine a person's response to different situations. Let us look at an example. Estimate where a ball will land after it is thrown and then moving to the correct location to catch the ball. You are not actually catching the ball, but you have perceived that perception involves estimating where the ball is likely to land and then also moving to the correct location to catch the ball. You are moving to the location, but not actually catching the ball. So, these two steps will characterize the psychomotor perceive. Now, action verbs related to that are choose, describe, detect, differentiate, distinguish, identify, isolate, relate, select. For example, we even looked at there we use the word estimate. You can also use that, or you are saying move, you can also use the action verb move to represent a psychomotor perceive. Now, activate is a 3-stage process. They include physical outputs, mimicry and deliberate modeling. Examples will clarify that. The early stages in learning a complex skill that includes imitation and trial and error. If somebody is teaching you how to hold a tennis bat, then he will show you, then you try to imitate, and then you will, by trial and error, you will keep on attempting until you get it right. Okay, by trial and error you learn. And adequacy of performance is only achieved by practicing. How to hit a ball, let us say, at what level you should hold the bat and at what angle you should do that, all that somebody may show it, but then you first try to imitate and internalize the whole thing by trial and error. Some examples: perform proper breathing techniques. Somebody demonstrates how to perform breathing in a yoga course, and then you are performing proper breathing techniques. For example, in dance, perform basic stances including Aramandi, Sama, Mujumandi and the related exercises. So, each one is an element of a much larger integrated movement, but here you are looking at one particular thing and you are trying to perform that. So, the action verbs related to that are, again you can use perform, copy, trace, follow, react, reproduce, respond. And then you have execute. It is a 3-stage process: task execution, operational execution and skilled execution. Now, you have 3 levels of execution. That is, learned responses have become habitual and the movements can be performed with some confidence and proficiency. Let us say you look at in the cricket matches that you observe, that when a ball is thrown at a fielder, the ease and comfort with which he catches the ball, that comes only with repeated use, and you know exactly how to hold your hand, how to stand, how to look at the ball. All these will become what do you call reach the level of skilled execution, right. So, it is a 3-stage process. For some examples include: operates a computer quickly and accurately. When you are repeatedly using something, your movements will become very confident and exact, and less wastage of time in terms of movement and so on. Like in dance, perform tatai tham adavus. You should be able to perform with proficiency. Okay, that is execute of psychomotor domain. The action verbs could be perform skillfully, react fast, reproduce fast or respond fast. Then comes the maneuver. What happens is a 2-stage process. You inspect the skills and select the skills. That is, having developed, that is what happens. Any master sportsman, they will he is taught let us say to hit a ball in a particular way, he will first practice that, but then that may or may not suit everybody's what do you call physic. He may want to make, he keeps on attempting to make minor modifications until he feels comfortable and gets it right. So what happens, you are going to the next level of inspecting your own skill and then selecting or modifying your skill. So skills are well developed and the individual can modify movement patterns to fit special requirements. He is capable of adjusting his movements depending on the circumstance. He will not use the same thing in all instances. I am taking from different fields. Perform a task with a machine that it was not originally intended to do. I am sure if you are anyway connected with one workshop, you would know you would start using the machine when you depending on the task that you use, in which the machine is not really designed for. Link different movements together, like in a, for example, a dance performance or a music performance, or prioritize equipment in order to carry fewer loads in my backpack. That is, you are training a group of children for trekking, and then you are asking them to carry fewer loads in the backpack and to reorganize, prioritize the equipment. So this is some kind of a maneuvering. The action verbs related are adapt, alter, change, rearrange, reorganize, revise, vary, and so on. So this is the fourth level of taxonomy of psychomotor domain. Then comes the psychomotor judge. It is again a two-stage process. You are establishing performance criteria and performance judging. If you look at it, these words once again look very similar to evaluate process of cognitive domain. That is, you identify criteria for comparison and then you are applying those criteria to judge. But in case of psychomotor judging, you are judging now the actual psychomotor activities. But when somebody is judging, he is not actually performing the psychomotor activities. Like in many reality shows that you would be seeing in any kind of related to music, the judge is sitting and is comparing judging the performance of the performer. Okay, he is giving some marks. For giving those marks, he has his own set of criteria. He may or may not share with others. If multiple judges are involved in judging the performance, they may commonly agree with a common set of criteria. Okay. So skill judging involves considerably more cognitive activity than the lower levels. Actual psychomotor activities may be even absent for the individual making judgment. He may give an explanation like why he considers some performance is not acceptable. In that process he may demonstrate, but judgment itself does not require any kind of psychomotor activity. But as you can see, especially in Olympic type of performances like gymnastics and so on, the marks given by multiple judges, 5 to 7 judges give, and the marks do not differ, they differ only sometimes at second decimal place or at the first decimal place. That means all of them are able to judge the performance very accurately, and that cannot be done by anyone and everyone unless you are really trained in that. So, some examples are judge the singing performance of participants or judge the quality of a dance performance. This is something that all of us are familiar with these days on so called TV reality shows. Action verbs include judge, critic, differentiate, mark or select. Then you have the psychomotor create. It is a two-stage process combining skills and performance insight. There are two, it is a two-stage process. Now essentially skills are combined to create a new whole. Like examples, this I am sure all of you are familiar with. Like if you have a dance competition reality show, the choreographer actually puts a complete dance programming for a given song. It is not exactly reproduction of what was done originally in a movie, but he creates his own way of presenting the song. Like develop a new and comprehensive training program which is dominantly cognitive, but a training program related to, let us say, any sports activity. How do you train somebody to be a good runner? So a coach's training program can be different from somebody else's. Create a new gymnastic routine or perform a Kuchipudi dance for a given Sanskrit poem. Something is given to you, now you have to rethink how to perform Kuchipudi dance for that. Sing a given song in a specified raga. Original song might have been sung in a different raga. So action verbs create, develop, perform, arrange, build and so on. Now having looked at the three domains, let us do a bit of look at all the three domains together. Cognitive, affective and psychomotor activities are not truly independent of one another. Whatever activity you do, it could be dominantly cognitive and but the other two elements are present to varying degrees. But unfortunately we somehow look at all our college education is mainly cognitive, and though we may do not disagree about the role of others, but our system does not permit paying attention to the affective and psychomotor domain activities, and that is where the major reform has to come. The teachers will have to look at their role not merely only in the cognitive domain. They also should look at least for those programs where these domains play an important role. And higher levels of affective and psychomotor activities involve more and more cognitive activities, that we will acknowledge. That is, a good dancer cannot be, let us say, dumb. They also are intelligent. Okay. So higher levels of affective and psychomotor activities are involved in higher level cognitive activities. So instruction needs to pay attention to these dependencies, especially to integrating affective and psychomotor elements into cognitive activities in general courses. This is a great challenge. We do not have, while we do have some instances somewhere, but as of today it is not standard practice for teachers to integrate affective and psychomotor elements into regular classroom teaching. There are instances and exceptions, but it is not a kind of a routine thing as yet. Now one can catch okay, here we will look at the learning. We will put all the domains together. Learning has domains including cognitive domain, affective domain, psychomotor domain. Just for completion will include spiritual domain, but we will not, just for indication only. and cognitive domain has knowledge categories and has cognitive processes, and affective domain has major categories where we are talking of 6 affective levels. Of course, one can have the affective goals. There are 3 levels that we talked about. If one wants, I can include that. And similarly, psychomotor domain has 6 psychomotor levels that we talk about, and spiritual domain has 2 levels that are presented, what are called identity and integrity. So, we will, this is a graphic, a concept map of taxonomy of learning of a general subjects or general programs, whereas we will add some more knowledge categories in some specific cases. Like in the case of engineering, we add 4 more categories of knowledge, but these are presently the general categories. If someone may work out that in the case of some program, let us say on music, there could be some additional categories of knowledge, but we do not know what they are right now. There is not much literature on that, but based on the currently available information, the taxonomy of learning can be presented in this kind of a map. We request you to give at least one example from each one of the 6 relevant psychomotor levels from the courses you are familiar with. Yes, we understand if you are taking a mathematics course or a physics course, it may be difficult to identify what you call psychomotor levels, but with some effort at least you may be able to find 1 or 2 relevant psychomotor levels for that. But humanities and social sciences, arts courses, one should be able to find plenty of examples of multiple psychomotor levels. And in the next unit, we now try to look at what is called the taxonomy tables that we use in achieving alignment among outcomes, assessment and instruction. It is a very simple tool. We will present how to effectively use that tool to achieve this kind of major goal of alignment among outcomes, assessment and instruction. Thank you very much.